In this video, we're going to decase a Vizio 405H 40-inch 4K TV for use in a virtual pinball. We're going to decase it, then modify the case, then put it back together so it fits nicely into our cabinet and is almost fully cased. It will still have most of the casing on to give it a nice bezel, as well as keeping the glass nice and tight and not letting dust get in there. So here's the monitor, and the back actually comes off very easy. There's just some small screws around the rectangle, and I think there was two in the middle. One by the power and another one a little bit by the left. So just take that right off, very straightforward. There's also two screws at the top of each speaker holder. Take those off. You do not have to remove each of the feet mounting brackets. Now, there will be some small screws on the edge of the bottom of the television. Two of them will be in the actual speaker holders, and the other ones will be just on little tabs on the bottom. Remove those. Now unplug the connector that goes from the CPU board to the speaker's inputs. And also underneath that, or below that, is a little ribbon cable that goes to a board in the middle of the speakers. Remove that. And now you'll want to actually remove those two speakers mounts, as well as the little plastic thing in the middle. I believe it's attached to them. You can put them back at the end if you want, or you can leave them off. Now, once you have all the screws removed, there's little plastic tabs at the bottom near those mount holders, the feet holder. Go ahead and just click them out, release them, and you will be able to then very carefully lift the thin bezel around the outside, and that will free the monitor. Now be careful, because the glass is not attached. It's not adhesed on there in any way, so if you flip it over, the glass can fall off. Now you can just put it back in, no big deal. Now with the case on, it actually almost fit. It was just a little too tight, so you had to angle it to get it to fit. So what I thought I would like to do is, I had two ideas. I was going to either cut off the top, or instead, the first thing I wanted to do ideally was just to route off like a 1/4 inch of the top of the bezel, and then put it back on. Unfortunately, so I made this little contraption to try to hold it tight to route it off, but unfortunately I didn't tighten it, keep it secure enough, and as soon as I hit with the router, it just broke. So then I just cut the top off completely. Now, I could have left the case off, but I really like the idea of having the case on to protect the electronics. I like the bezel as much as possible because it keeps the glass secure and tight so dust can't get underneath the glass, which happened when I had it off, when I didn't have the bezel on. And the bezel also hid the light backlighting from underneath, because there's actually really bright line on both edges, the top and the bottom, and the bezel hid that. So I wanted to put everything back on to keep it nice and safe and protected. Again, it wouldn't fit with the whole bezel, so what I did is I just cut off the top of the bezel and put the rest of the bezel back right on, and I then used just electrical tape to seal the one edge, the top, that didn't have a bezel. And then I recased everything. I put the speakers back in and put the case back on. And here's how it looks. Looks pretty good. There's a nice clean black bezel. It is just perfect. There's like not maybe a centimeter on each side of the case, and so I really like this idea of having almost a fully cased monitor. Most of it, we had to decase it, remove the top of the bezel, recase it, and then use it as is, and it looks really nice, I think. Now, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I was actually really afraid of decasing it, and I almost went with another monitor I had that actually fit with the full case, but was not a 4K monitor, and it was a little, I guess the viewing angle wasn't as good. But I'm really happy I decased it. I'm really happy I went with a 4K monitor. It actually looks way better than the 1090, I'm sorry, 1980 by 1080. So you can get this monitor at Sam's Club. It's the Vizio 405H. It's $219 if you're a member. I'm not a member, but I found out that you can order it online if you're not a member. You just have to pay shipping, which I think was $8, and a 10% fee for not being a member. So I did that. It came to like just over $250, and it looks really, really nice.